Well, good day, folks. Welcome back to Dave Does. Welcome back to the garage on day 2 of the kitchen cabinet build. As you saw yesterday, we got the sides done and we got the shelves in. Today, what we're going to continue with is we're going to put the back in, and then we're going to put the foot on it, the toe relieve, I guess you could call it, the toe kick. And then we're going to tackle the front. We're going to get this all buttoned up, get it all ready. Hopefully today it'll be done. And then the customer can come pick it up, take it down the street like I said yesterday, or for you a couple minutes ago, and see if it all fits. And then we'll start on the new one, on the smaller one. It's 31 by 6. So I'm going to take this apart, lay it all out here, and then we'll lay out the laid out for rabbiting the back to inlay the wood. Okay, so we've taken the cabinet apart. What we're going to do now is we're going to line it all up with the, I'll draw the 3/4 line all the way down it, and then we'll measure back the appropriate distance. And I do believe that, let me just remind myself here, I do believe that was 2 5/8. I don't remember now, 2 5/8 on that. We'll secure our level. Nice. We'll secure our level. And then we'll cut her all the way down, and then of course we'll move the level down and then cut the rest of the way. So let me just, I won't record this, I'll just set it all up and I'll come back when I run it across, and then we'll do the other piece which I've got back there. And of course I marked the back so I know which ones are which. So let me set that up. Here we go. Very nice. Okay, I'll rejig. We'll go down the other end and we'll continue. There's this side done. A little bit of this excess clean up here. I'll rejig. I'll get the other one in here, and I'll just bust through that super quick. So what I did, I went ahead and just did it without recording it. It's just boring as all get out. So we'll take this off. I might have to rabbet the top piece. And the top piece and the back piece, so the back fits in there real nice and squares everything up. We'll go ahead and we'll set the next thing up. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. Get right back. What I've done here, I've just put my little jiggy and my little pieces of 2x4 back up to support it. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the back of it now. It's got to be it's got to be exactly the same width as these guys, which is 5 1/2, I think. Do the right end. I can tell you in millimeters, I guess. 5 1/2, right on the money. So we got the piece back there, sliver out. We got the piece back here. We'll just rip it down to exactly 5 1/2. We'll pop it in here, and then we have to the end pieces. We still have to take them down, rabbet those, put the rabbets in those guys. And as it stands right now, if I put a centerpiece in, if I can get a centerpiece in somewhere, got a little tight. If I put a centerpiece in it, you probably can't see that. They're standing proud by about 1/2 inch. That means on the front of it, I'll take off 1/2 inch, because this will, I'm not going to notch out every single one at the back here. It's way at the back. You can't see it. It'll just be sitting flush against the back piece, of course, and we'll screw that in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll set up the saw now, and we'll take down the back down to 5.5 inches. Okay, we've cut it to size. I've just put it back in place here. We just have to loosen up some clamps a little bit so it'll fit in, and we'll do that right now. Get these clamps loose. We'll drop her in. There we go. Tighten everything up. You can see the wow. Oh, maybe you can't because of the angle. There's a fair bit of a bend in the end plywood. But once we get all the shelves in, we'll get them screwed in. That's what we're going to do next. We're going to take it apart again, and we're going to go through and we're going to put 3 drill holes per shelf. One at the front, of course, one at the back. One at the front, one at the back, and then one in the middle on each side. And then we'll countersink them all so they're all nice and flush, and we're away. Hey, while I have this up here now, let's just take this guy off. Put it here. I'm going to move you over here quickly. That's a good thing I double check everything. So this is the base. The whole thing stands on. Just thinking, can I put that on now? I don't think so, not quite yet. What I have to do, I've got to build the box proper first, get it all complete. Actually, oh, it goes like that anyway. It's not perfectly square yet. And of course, once that's there, pardon my back, this is the actual bottom piece that sits in there and provides all the support. So that box sits there. There's your toe kick, your toe reveal. Coming together. So that's what we'll do. We'll take it apart. We'll go ahead and we'll drill all the holes in, then we'll flip her on over. We'll do the countersink them all. And then we're going to start cleaning it up. Well, there we go. That's all, everything drilled up. I'll just quickly go ahead and do the other side. Then we'll flip them over and I'll just countersink them quickly. I'll show you a couple of those and then we'll on to the assembly. So all we're doing here is we're slowly countersinking. You got to be very careful. The wood's not very thick, so I got to make sure you don't burn through. So that's one of those. And so on, and so on, and so on. Alright, so what I've done, I've just dry fit everything together. Of course, you just saw me drilling, counter drill everything. I'm not sure if you can see it from that angle here. Let me just tip it up a little bit. Crushing it. The shelves are too long. So what we're going to do, we're going to individually fit them and cut them to the proper size, and then we're going to worry about the front. We'll get the front done. Still don't know what I'm doing with the front yet. It might just be two pieces of plywood, good side out, with very, very tight pieces going in between it. That might be it. And that's sort of the way I'm going. What I wanted to do was have this all assembled, flip it over, draw lines out, and then route it out but I don't know how the router will do it. I might get too much tear out and I look like garbage. So the table saw can do much better job. So that's what we're gonna do now. Got enough clamps on here to keep me going for a little bit. They might be too tight, have to loosen them as we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put the shelves in. I'm gonna move you over here so I don't have my back to you. All right, that's the shelves in. What I have to do is just go around the back, just tap everything a little bit. I want to make sure the the back is fully into the rabbet, into the recess before I start marking them up to cut them. I'll check the measurements on a couple, and if they're the same all the way, then that's the measurement. Sand it all down. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do all this. I'll stick it into a time lapse, go a little quicker, cut it all off, and then we'll clamp it more, we'll flip it up, we'll sand it all down, and then we'll start on the front, and then after that's done, I'm not sure how much glue I'm going to use. I don't want to have squeeze out way back in here, so I might just line it all up, screw it together, leave it. That might be just the thing to do. Problem with this maple is it's actually just filler plywood. Who knows, poplar or something? I have no idea what's inside. And they put the thinnest veneer of maple on the outside and it tears. And it is a pain because you can't fill it properly. So what you have to do, you have to hide it. So look at the orientation. This is the bottom, it'll be up. You gotta make sure everything going that way looks good. That doesn't. Mind you, we are going to take it all apart and do a little bit of fine sanding on it. See, this is what I mean by filler. You see that? You can see that crack there. I'm going to take, luckily, look where the mark is. I'll be taking that right off. So there we go. You can see the this is the bottom. We got to put the base over there on the bottom yet. Sand it all up, and she's pretty. I put the trim on the front. She's pretty much done. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take it apart. We'll number everything to make sure we have it all correct and we know where everything goes. We'll go go bottom to top, 1 to 10, and so I get them back in. This is all going to be covered up anyway. And then we'll just take it all apart with a fine sandpaper. We'll just clean up all the edges, make sure everything's nice and sharp. And then we're going to do final assembly. All right, all we're going to do now is slowly go around. Fold this as a 220. We'll just take all the little feathers off, all of it, make sure it's nice and tight. We'll start over there, we'll work our way down. I'll back you up a little bit so you can actually watch this. If you see fit, if not, well, I'm going to put it on ludicrous speed anyway, it doesn't matter. Because I don't think there's anything quite so boring as watching somebody else hand sand something. I could talk about something, I guess. All right, so everything's got sanded up, as boring as all get out, but here we go. All right, now we're going to start assembling. So we're going to start with it upside down to start with. There we go, she's square. Just going to make sure this back piece is all the way against the back of the rabbit, so on the inside. It looks good. Now we'll just go around and pre-drill. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to put the, knock anything off. Slide it like this, and we're going to put the base on now. That is going nowhere. That goes on there. And all I'm going to do with this guy, we're just going to glue this one on and brad nail it. This is not seen. All right, I got the brad nailer. Righty. Beautiful, right on the side. Well, we've had a whole pile there. We'll have to pull that guy through and redo it. Okay. Right, the maker, it's on the bottom. Now each shelf, we're going to do both sides at the same time. Alright, there's only one thing left to do, just to go around and sand off all the imperfections, get it all nice and level. All right, there we go. That's it. If you look at it from up here, there's no gaps at all. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Home Depot tomorrow, pick up some maple stripping, and we'll strip all this out in maple, make it look real pretty. But that's it. She's done. It was fun to do. Never done anything like that before. I know if I'm going to do more, if anybody ever asks me to do more of this stuff, I have to build a better setup for my table saw, and I have to get a fine tooth blade so I can make all the fine cuts without any tear out. So that's what I got to do. Anyway, enough of that. There it is. There's one cabinet built. I've got to build the other one. I'll probably, if I have time tomorrow night, I'll probably rip that up tomorrow and then finish it the next day. It's Dave from Dave Does. Oh, by the way, I might be changing the name from Dave Does to, I don't know, something else. I was looking on YouTube and there's one or two Dave Does. I thought I might be the only one. I didn't check. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to change the name at some point. I'll let you know. For now, it's Dave Does and all of my different builds. So, that was hanging out with me in the garage here for a little while. We'll see you on the next project of the upper cabinet. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and ring the little bell. Thank you very much for watching. We hope to see you back here soon. Thank you very much.